Hi, I'm Gaurav Shinde and I'm refitting my 1980 Bob Perry design Baba 35 to sail in the Golden Globe race this year. I post weekly videos here on YouTube, so if you want to keep following my journey, please subscribe to this channel. This week, we're going to work on the cockpit. We're going to finish cleaning up the cockpit, removing the seams for adding new seams, then keep working on the plumbing as we start installing new plumbing on the boat, and then we will just start sanding in hopes of waiting for a good weather window to paint. So let's go to the boat. We removed these heavy portlights from the boat and we're going to replace them with really light ones. They look really nice, but they are at least 6 kilos for one. We just cleaned up the cockpit in preparation for starting to remove the seams. The teak hasn't been taken care of for a long time, so we're going to re-seam the teak and sand it and then put teak cleaner and teak oil on it to make it look really nice.
Quick one, what are we doing right now?
We're changing tactic and trying to go a bit more destructive in making this the grout come out faster. So we cut out the inlet hose for the fresh water, and this is the condition. So it's 42 years old and whatever water was coming for the last few years since I owned it was coming through this.
Pure Ganga Jal.
Another example of the hose that was bringing fresh water in. So if you see this, it's dirty as hell. I don't know how it was being used to for fresh water. So I'm gonna use it. Possibly not going to use a hose at all. Just put the water directly in and not have anything that is going to cause salt water to go in or contaminate my fresh water.
this piece here. 26. This was 22. Then got this one.
So what we're doing is taking measurements for a hard dodger. So hard dodger is basically you can see like a windshield or a cover which you have on a car, which is going to save me from the elements when things go bad, but I can still sleep in the cockpit with that.
Okay, let's put the cardboard on and go for that as a template. You want to give me a hand over here? Why don't you lie down here so we can see if it works? Yeah. Slide it out. Okay, just hold it. So we're just making a rough template from which we can make a mock-up and then build the actual one. Yeah. I think a 16-inch would work.
Yeah, 16 inch gives me enough headroom, and I can actually be on my knees also.
Yeah.
And 16
let's
inches.
see that.
I can be on my knees and do it.
Good. Okay. Now we can warm up. Thank you.
Like everything on a boat, it's one step forward, two steps behind. This weekend was like that. We finished a lot of work beforehand, and on Saturday we removed all the port lights. But when we removed the port lights, we realized there was a thick layer of fairing compound on the inside, which also got removed because I think the caulking on at some point was called what you call as 3M5200, which is a permanent caulking which you use, which you don't use on port lights, and it was probably used on our port lights. That cost a lot of fairing compound and fiberglass to come off. So that's going to take some time to repair, and then we had to deal with the final part of plumbing, which was difficult to reach. So we had to cut out a few sections, but that also gives a lot of new options to make the water fill in a position where it makes life easy for me when I'm at sea. At the same time, we started working on the cockpit area. It got sanded completely on the cockpit walls, but there's work left on the teak. I'm trying to keep the teak because this is the only last part of teak on the boat that I'm keeping. All else, every other place, the teak has been removed. So this is going to be really slow work. Hopefully we'll get it done by March. And then I think next week, when it's warmer, I'm going to start plugging all the holes with fiberglass on Wednesday, clean the boat properly on Thursday, and start working on the hard dodger. So that's it for this week. So hopefully next week it'll be more creative work. Then because all the ripping apart and removal stuff is almost done, so now it's all going to be putting things back in the right place.